welcome back everybody. I'm going to talk about today about the TRX and what I did with it. Um, I've been getting asked questions. So um, I decided to get rid of it because honestly, everybody's affected by the economy and, I didn't want to keep going with is what it costs to drive that thing. And I have the CTSV that I like to play with now. And um, you know, I'd like to have something to go towards that. Could I have kept the TRX? Yeah, I could have kept it, but the total cost of my balance on it, it wasn't crazy, but it's still more than this tradesman I got. And to me, it's fitting the bill just like the other truck did. I mean, I don't know, some people that buy the TRX like to drive it like a madman 24/7. I drove it like a regular car. Yeah, I did get in it, but I would say the whole time I owned this last one, even my other blue one, I think, I did uh, four, let's see, I don't know, 10, 12 full out quarter mile passes with it the whole time I owned it for like 2 years. So, and this other one, I only did them when I did the inner chiller just to see the difference. Um, Other than that, I mean, the truck is quick, but almost any regular car now that's a performance car is just as fast, so or way faster. So the balance of the cost of keeping it versus what I get out of it. When I drive it every day like a normal truck, like my work is, I don't know, I think it's about 6 miles from here. So 6 miles one way, I didn't really need it. Like, I don't need 700 horsepower to drive 6 miles. It doesn't even run long enough for me to want to floor the thing because it doesn't, the oil's not up to temp and all that. And then when you regular drive it to go other places, when the thing, let's just put it this way. If you drive it nicely, mixed driving, I'd say 11 and a half miles to the gallon is about average. That's all you're going to get. And it's got to be premium. So between those two things, that adds up. Um, Again, I could have kept it, but I'm sick of just shelling money out for gas like that for nothing. And then obviously it was a higher payment because the vehicle cost more. I mean, it wasn't crazy. Like I said, it wasn't crazy because I had traded my other cars in on it and had a lot of equity, so I didn't owe like full price. But I'm owing only like 30 grand on this tradesman now, so the payment's almost half, and it gets. Let's see, I wrote it down here. So the difference between the TRX and this tradesman is mixed driving, 11 miles a gallon versus about 18. Um, on the highway, I would say the TRX averaged like 12, and this thing is getting like 21. And towing, I just did a towing. I'll do something on that, but I'll just do the quick numbers. Towing the same trailer, 9 miles to the gallon versus 11 and a half out of this tradesman. So I was surprised by that. I thought there wasn't going to be a difference, or I thought maybe the TRX for some reason would have been better. I don't know why I thought it, but I just, I don't know, it just surprised me. I thought they would at least be the same because I thought maybe this thing would have to rev higher or whatever. It does, but I thought it was going to use more gas doing it. But, so there's that. And then the whole daily thing of driving the TRX. Um, I just didn't like driving it as a daily vehicle just because of, like I said, I got this, Hellcat motored car that's getting driven short distances every day, which isn't that great for anything. And I don't know, the thing's sitting out in the sun every day at work. I'd rather it not be something like that to have outdoors every day getting beat on, and then it's just going to be worth nothing because it's going to get trashed. So I just figured it was best to not have that as a daily, which is what I did before. But then I had another little car to drive, and I got sick and tired of getting in that little car. So um, another thing was loading height. This truck's sitting lower right here, so this is much more manageable to get in and out of, as far as loading the back end up, or not. Getting in the truck feels the same to me, but the loading, I notice every time I load that other truck, there's just more of a pain in the ass to do. Um, Parking it, parking that TRX, even when I went to go trade it in to get this truck, I couldn't even park it between the cars because it was a tighter parking lot, but everybody, if one car does not park dead center, you're screwed, you know. So if you have two cars on an open spot, there's two cars, one on each side of that spot, and they both hug the, of course, this, you know, the line you need to, you ain't even be able to open the door. You know? So theft, theft was another thing. I was always afraid of it getting stolen or whatever, and I know people say insurance, but I don't want to go through all that. And um, it's not even just that. I might have valuable stuff in the truck that I don't want stolen. So I'm not saying that this truck wouldn't get stolen, I guess, but I think it's less likely than that. I don't think there's a high demand for an e-torque drivetrain. I don't, so, and oh, and the last thing, cost down the road. You look at, say, the shocks that come on the TRX. God only knows what those cost to replace, and all the other electronic stuff that that thing has. Where this truck is pretty basic. You know, I've been doing all this work to it this week, front to back, and I would say it's pretty bare bones. It's got your typical, you know, your ABS and stuff like that, but there's no electronic suspension. There's no air ride. Um, Even the interior, I has manual seats, and they're cloth, which actually they're so soft that they feel like sitting on a couch. So I'm pretty happy with the seats. But oh, and the one thing that was important was I did try it with the AI box that I used to watch videos. Still works on this screen. The You have a little trouble using the keypad to type, but what I found is if I want to look something up like a TV show, all I have to do is hit the voice command, and I just say what I want, and it types it out, and then just hit enter, and then everything works fine. So I don't need to actually type it. So everything inside works just like the TRX did. So that is what is happening. Would I get another TRX down the road? I just don't know. Like, I don't see what purpose it would serve me now. I had it for 2 years. I will say that, like, the cool factor, it's still a cool truck. You know what? I shouldn't say that it isn't, but um, it's a super cool truck. It's just not feasible to keep it. I think for if you just want a regular truck, because I guess you know what, when the warranty's out in here, put a Pro Charger on it. I could totally see that happening, and the weight difference. This truck with the sticker on it and the you subtract the payload versus GVRW. This truck weighs 5,500 pounds. Now I know it probably weighs a little bit more with the ram bar on it, and the tonneau cover is really not that heavy, but I took the 40-pound muffler off, so that helps a little bit. But we'll just say 5,600 pounds, and you have, say, 500 horsepower to the tire. You're not that far behind. A TRX, I think, puts down 580 to the tire, and that truck almost weighs 7,000 pounds. So if you're talking about power and speed, you could get there. But no, so I'm not knocking the TRX, and never will. It's just not feasible to me to keep it. So, um, like I said, if I didn't have that car, I probably would keep it. But it's hard to juggle too. And like I said, I was just sick of wasting the money. So because when I'm just using it to drive to work and using it for truck stuff, because most of the time I was hauling stuff with it. I was doing a lot of truck kind of things with it, not racing it. I didn't go off road with it really because I just don't have time. So I just thought it was time to let it go. So I'm really liking this truck. I do think I will want to change these tires though, because I think they're a little. These are the same exact tires that were on the Power Wagon. So I'll do a video on the whole towing thing with that. But there it is. That's my explanation. So I think the TRX is never going to replace the I learned if you have a fast car already. So like my Z06 is what I traded in to get the TRX, the first one. Um, it was cool at first, but then after like a month, I started missing the Z06. So it's not going to fill that spot. You're not going to, the Z06, a 3,100 pound car with, 650 to the tire, at least the one I had, and you're not going to come close to that same feel in the truck. Yeah, off the line, of course, those things, hook up good because it's all-wheel drive. But, after that, after the 8th mile, the TRX is kind of done unless you pulley it and do all the other stuff. So, and then that's the other thing I should mention while I'm here is once you start, I need a truck no matter what. So the temptation to do all these modifications was too high because of, the Hellcat engine. That am I going to make it unreliable? So if I actually need to go tow something, I can't do it because I just broke it last week because I was racing it or whatever the hell. So that was the other reason. So if you need a truck for a truck, it can't be your only truck. It's a toy truck. So it can be a regular truck. I'm not going to say it can't be, but you're going to pay a lot of money for a truck that you could do with a lesser truck, if that makes any sense. So that's it. So I hope everybody understands that. But I will be doing some stuff to this after I get some miles on it. Maybe I'll decide to do a Pro Charger on this truck before the warranty is up. I like to get like 10, 15,000 miles on a vehicle to know if there was any kind of flaw in it that I would have to worry about engine problems or transmission problems or whatever, and have the warranty fix it instead. So that's what I got. So I'll be doing some more. I think tomorrow I might be doing remote start. So we'll have a video on that. So everything else is coming along. That's about the only thing I don't have is, I'm not gonna put a TRX push button in it. So it can remind me of the old days. All right. So until next time, we'll talk later.